120-day extension.
Yeah.
Has he signed it?
Talked to the lawyer on Friday.
Are you on Facebook?
All right, we'll call this meeting of Fairfield County Council to order at 6 p.m. First thing we have is approval of the agenda. Is there a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second. Motion has been made and properly seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we're unanimous on that. Where that noise is coming from, but we're now down to the invocation of Vice Chair, Ms. Goins.
Let us pray. Lord God, we just thank you, Father, for allowing us to be still here on another day, Lord. We thank you for how you watch over us and care for us. We thank you for your faithfulness, Lord God. And we ask, God, as we press forward to build this community and this county, that you would give us good direction, Lord God, clear understanding and much wisdom, Lord God, in the direction we should go. Thank you for all those that are here, for this council team, God, who actually continue to guide and direct them. And Lord, we give you praise, glory, and honor in all things, and we place it all in your hands. And we know as long as it's in your hands, not some things with us, but everything is going to be all right. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you. We're now down to the approval of minutes for the regular meeting, January 23rd, 2017. Do we have a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
All right, motion has been made and properly seconded to approve the minutes of the regular meeting, January 23rd, 2017. Any discussion? Seeing none, those in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. Unanimous on that. We're now down to public presentations. There are none, and then first public comment period. Ms. Locklear?
For the first segment, we have one individual to speak, Mr. Randy Bright, to speak on the hospital.
Thank you. Randy Bright, District 1, Ridgeway. I just want to take time out today, and we've done this before, but I think it bears reiterating. I want to thank the council and our government for its support for the hospital, not only support in time, energy, but money, of course. And I want to, again, praise the wisdom of council in its support of the hospital. Council understanding that the hospital is such a vital part of our entire community on many levels, not just health and safety, but it's a vital cog for us garnering new industry, new jobs. It's an imperative that you guys understand. And I think that public praise is never too often for understanding those kinds of imperatives and making the investments necessary. What you have done in the past and obviously will continue to do in the future. So thanks again for all you've done for the hospital, and keep up the good work. And the community thanks you, I'm sure. And I would not be saying this, still got a few more minutes, but, and I would not be saying this just because I'm on the board of the hospital. I'd be saying this as a citizen. And I speak freely and have done this, I think you know, in the past, of my opinions on what the council and the government does. And this is a great thing you're doing and have done. Thanks again. Got some time to add to my next speech. Thank you.
That ends segment one.
All right. We're now down to public hearings. There are none. And then ordinance, resolutions, and orders. We have first reading by title only, ordinance number 674. Ms. Locklear.
An ordinance to amend ordinance number 616, roads, highways, and bridges as follows. Revised section 1-20-C, road paving program.
Thank you. We have a motion on that.
Second.
Motion has been made and properly seconded to give the ordinance first reading. There is no discussion on first reading, so we'll go to the vote. Those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Unanimous on that. Then we're now down to item B. This is resolution number 2017-01. Ms. Locklear?
Resolution supporting the nomination and designation of US 21, State Road 20, SR-20-20, US 321 and South Carolina 34, Piedmont Gateway as a state scenic byway.
All right. Do we have a motion? Second.
Second.
All right. Motion has been made and properly seconded to approve the resolution. Any discussion? Seeing none, those in favor? Aye. All right. We're now down to boards and commission minutes. We'll do all these together. We have the Chamber of Commerce, Disabilities and Special Needs, Library Commission, and the Hospital Board. Do I have a motion? Second. All right, it's been properly motioned and seconded to approve the minutes. Any discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. We're now down to boards and commission appointments. This is for the Assessment Appeals Board, Ms. Barbara Charles from District 4. Do we have a motion? All right, motion's been made and properly seconded to put Ms. Barbara P. Charles back on the Assessment Appeals Board. Any discussion? Those in favor? Aye. Unanimous. We're down to old business. There is none. No new business. Now the county administrator's report. Mr. Taylor?
Just one item that we have tonight. We had a request of action to go before the Finance Committee for the installation of new gym bleachers at the rec center's gymnasium. This has been before Finance Committee. It was recommended. It was properly bid and advertised. We had two bids come in, Mastercraft at $41,202 and Learning Environment at $45,000. This was a budgeted item, and the recommendation was to go with the Mastercraft vendor for $41,202 for the bleachers.
All right, thank you for that explanation. Do we have a motion?
Second.
Okay. Motion has been made and properly seconded to approve the request of action for the installation of new gym bleachers. Any discussion? Seeing none, those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous, Ms. Locklear. All right, we are now down to the clerk to council's report, and I think we have one tonight.
Mr. Chairman and Council, in your packet, you received the boards and commissions vacancies report. These are vacancies that exist now, as well as some that will be vacant in the near future that we will need to work on filling.
All right, thank you for that, Ms. Locklear. Any discussion by members of council? Ms. Goins?
Yes. If I may, I would like to make a suggestion that on those vacancies, if it's possible, they could be placed in the paper, that the community would know more about what's going on, and to get the community more involved. Because I would love to see our young registered active voters become involved in the building of the county. So is it possible that those vacancies and a brief description of their operations as well as the application be placed in the paper? If we could kind
Okay.
of do an advertisement for them.
Well, I'll just say that I've thought in the past that we could do that as well, and a lot of times we'll just have kind of these one-offs, but I think we've got a number of vacancies right now. I know I've only got one, but I know we've got, I think, quite a number amongst the entire council in the different districts. So I don't have any opposition, any problem with that. Any other council members have a problem with pasting that in a paper to let folks know that those positions are out there and we're glad to take applications on them? Mr. Trout?
Mr. Chair, I think we also might want to put it on the website, the county website.
Absolutely. Good recommendation. Okay, well, if we could just do that administratively then, Mr. Taylor? All right. Okay, we're now down to the second public comment section.
For the second segment, we have 4 individuals to speak. First, Ms. Kathy Falk, speaking on the shelter ordinance.
Before my time starts, would you please just pass this out? I'd like to ask each of you to look at every single picture, please. Thank you. Hi. My name is Kathy Falk. I'm a resident of Fairfield County and a member of the Hoof and Paw Benevolent Society. I'm here tonight to talk to you, County Council, for several reasons. I'm going to try to get a lot said in a tiny little bit of time. First of all, it's wonderful to see these new faces in County Council, and we're just really excited and looking forward to the progress that we can make for animal welfare. I'm here tonight, number one, Hoof and Paw is working very closely with Mr. Bob Ennis and Mr. Davis Anderson to launch a very aggressive fundraising campaign this year for neutering. It's a spay-neuter campaign, and it is to assist Fairfield County in their efforts to become a no-kill county. This is something that if we could accomplish it, it would be something for Fairfield County to be so very proud of. It would be an honor. This is a movement that's happening across the United States, animal welfare movement. It's going to happen. Fairfield County needs to lead the way. Fairfield County does not need to pull up the rear. We're capable of leading the way to do this. I have passed out this picture. Now, also, I will be visiting each of you to ask for your own personal donation. This is something that the county's got to get behind. We're willing to work very, very hard. We're willing to work to raise a lot of money to help Fairfield County with this campaign. But we can't do it without you. We cannot do it without the county council. We need for the county council to get behind us. We need for the county council to get behind Mr. Anderson, Mr. Bob Ennis. They're willing to work really hard, and so we need for you guys to get in here and give us some good, strong ordinances so that we can really make a difference in Fairfield County. Look at these pictures. This happened right in your own backyard, right in your own backyard. And this isn't just this dog. There are many like this dog. It's shocking. It gives me a jolt every time I see something like this. And you know what? I hope it gives you a jolt. I hope it makes you, my husband can't look at them. You know, I hope it upsets you. I hope it makes you want to do something about it because it's happening all around you. You know, when we don't know, when we can't see it in front of us every single day, we don't know it's there. Well, there it is. It's happening. That was in Fairfield County. So please get behind us. We've got to have many ordinances to help these guys who are wanting to do such a good job for us to go out and sink their teeth into something. They need to be able to do their jobs, and they can't do it without these ordinances. It can't be done. So please, I'm asking you this year to work with us to make these ordinances happen. Lead the way. Don't bring up the rear. Lead the way. We can do this.
Thank you, Ms. Falk.
Next, we have Ms. Minj Weisman speaking on the shelter ordinance.
Thank you, you got that name right. Good evening, County Council. My name is Minj Weisman, and I'm from Blythewood, and I see faces I recognize, and then some new faces too, so it's nice to see you. My passion is horses. I've placed 7 horses for Fairfield County in the last 5 years, being a member of Hoof and Paw. So often, people in your position get negative responses from the public on various issues, but I'm here to give you some shout-outs. My first shout-out is whoever hired Bob Ennis for your animal control director. Bob reached out to me in the first week that he was employed, asking for education from a large animal veterinarian. And that was accomplished last month when Dr. Nicole Cunningham from South Carolina Equine Associates came and gave a presentation to the animal control staff as well as law enforcement on the care and recognition of large animal neglect. Second, I want to give a shout out to Davis Anderson, who supported Bob and gave him the go-ahead to fence in a small pasture next door to the animal control facility, which will enable Fairfield County to house for the first time neglected large animals. And third, I'd like to give a shout out to you, County Council, in knowing that you will get behind this new initiative to make Fairfield County a no-kill shelter, to help identify neglect and abuse in large animals, and provide stricter ordinances with harsher consequences to people that continue to neglect and mistreat their animals in this county. I know that Hoof and Paw will work right along beside you to bring about change and make a difference in an area that's so often overlooked and badly needed. And now on a personal note, I've been teaching Sunday school for 18 years, and we do a service project every year. And our service project this year is to come and help at the Fairfield County Animal Shelter. shelter. And we are going to bring my whole class to assist in, what do you call it when you, socializing the kittens that y'all get, taking out the dogs for a walk, spending time with the animals, and then after that, a month later, we're holding a lemonade stand where I'm getting our parents behind it to bake cookies and give these things away at our Hoof and Paw garage sale, and all proceeds will go for the animals of Fairfield County. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, Ms. Paula Finale, speaking on the shelter ordinance.
Hi, good evening. I'm Paula Finale. Okay. I didn't write anything out. I didn't know I was going to talk. But I just want to say that I've been involved with Hoof and Paw for about 4 years. And we started off with this young lady's former sister-in-law, who was amazing. And we've come a long way. It used to be like 3 people that would show up at the meeting, and now we have a force. Part of the reason we're doing so well is because of this lady right here, Barbara Ball, who has us in The Voice all the time. So people go, oh my gosh, you're in the paper again. We've just come a long way. I mean, we're definitely trying to help the shelter in lots of ways, with becoming no-kill, which is amazing, unbelievable. And we're also have gotten involved with cruelty, which is something that I didn't even foresee me getting involved in, but it just struck a chord. Most of you know about the dog dragging case that was in Fairfield County. This was Emmanuel. That he looks gorgeous now. He has a great home, but he wasn't that way before. Hoof and Paw got involved with that, and we actually raised $1,500, and that's a picture of us, thanks to Barbara, of course, where we gave a check to the individual that reported the person that dragged this dog. Obviously, there's more going on. You saw those pictures. We want to get involved in this. We want to help the community. We want to change the ordinances for the better. And we're really hoping County Council will help us. I think we've got some new people, which is awesome. I live in District 4, and Bertha is my lady. I voted for her. And Jimmy Ray, I shop at his place, and I know Dan, and a lot of you guys. We really need some changes, and we really are counting on you to make a difference this year. I think we can do it together. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, Mr. Randy Bright, speaking on keepsake.
Hard to follow those passionate pleas. Great job, ladies. Randy Bright, District 1, Ridgeway. I'm wearing this old Letterman's jacket today to kind of convey a message. This old Letterman's jacket is about 50 years old, no longer defines me as a person. Obviously, I couldn't earn this letter today. But the message is that while this Letterman's jacket is old and archaic and really doesn't serve to convey the message that I would like to convey to people, although it's useful this time, the same goes for our county's economic development website. It's old. Hasn't been updated since 2008. Let me give you just one quote here. There was a survey. 356 executives were surveyed, and their response was that they were likely to visit an economic development website during their next search. 67% of them said, yes, that's what I'm going to do first. Going to visit the website first. That makes it an imperative that we have an effective marketing and program that provides information for our community. Well, not only is our 2008 economic development website archaic, so is the information on there. It's from 2007. There's companies listed on there that are supposed to be viable and in this county that aren't there anymore. One of the companies, Ben Arnold, they're no longer called Ben Arnold, but they're all listed in the website. It's kind of like if, Jason, you just recently went through a successful hiring phase, you being hired. It's kind of like if Jason brought to you a 10-year-old resume that had a big gap for the last 10 years. Wouldn't you have thought once, twice, maybe 3 times before hiring Jason with a 10-year-old gap in his hiring resume? Well, we have a 10-year-old gap in our economic development resume on our webpage. Our window to bring people in, it's got a lot of cobwebs, a lot of misinformation, a lot of dust. Like this old jacket, it's too old to serve its purpose. And we just need to get it updated. We've got some great people in the economic development team, but we need, and remember, we continually rank one of the 10 worst employment records, unemployment rate in the state. So we need to focus on economic development, and what better way to start with a website that brings us into this century. Thank you.
That ends segment 2.
All right. We are now down to county council time. Would any members of council like to be recognized for good of council? Yes, Mr. Robinson.
Mr. Chair, I'd just like to commend Mr. Bright on his ideas. I definitely agree with him. It's a new day. It's time for new ideas, new websites. The kids on Snapchat nowadays, Facebook, YouTube. It's different ways to boost the county and try to get businesses here. And secondly, I'd like to commend you on recommending me for the economic development class in Charleston this past weekend. Myself, Mr. Weathers, Mr. Taylor, and Mr. Davenport attended it, and last Thursday and Friday of last week. And I can honestly say it's a lot that goes into economic development. And I'm looking forward to class number 2. So.
Thank you. All right. Well, I will add Mr. Douglas, you go first.
I'd like to thank Huff and Paws for coming. Come out of the store and get your check.
Anyone else? Ms. Goins?
If I may, in addition to the suggestion that I made, I also want to let you know that in District 4, I went to Chamber of Commerce, and I thank them so much for what they're doing, and they always send me an email of events that's going on in the community. So what I started doing is posting them at the post office because people don't know what's going on. I've also have a list, and I have some labels that I'm going to be sending that information out to the churches, as well as all of the organizations that work in this county to help make it better. And I'm going to ask and challenge each one of you that you would contact Chamber of Commerce or some person in your community. Get a listing of what events is going on. Get a listing of organizations and then spread it out. The only way we are going to build better is that we are informed. And one of my main platform stands was to inform the community, to inform the public. When we're informed, we can do better. So I'm going to ask you that you would get that information, just share it with someone else, and then attend the events. Amen. And then attend what's going on. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Goins. Any other members of council? All right. Well, I'll say just a couple of things and touch on some of what was mentioned in public comment time. One of those is that the suggestion on working on our websites is a very good one, and we are doing that. I would expect pretty soon to receive a request from administration to approve a request of action on that. So we're working on that. We know it's an issue, and we're doing our best to try to update the economic development and county government website all in one pass if we can. Another thing on the animal control, just very much appreciate the passion of the folks who spoke here tonight, and I want to let you know that some of us pay attention to this stuff, and we are still working on it. We hadn't forgotten, and just so you know, I'm being honest when I say that. I saw one of you speak to a Senate panel recently. So we do pay attention to that kind of stuff across the state as well, and we are working on that. I also had a conversation a few days ago with staff on funding of our animal control department and the spay and neuter type thing, and we're going to work on that and improve that this budget calendar this year as well. Just one other thing, just kind of a housekeeping thing if we can, and this goes for council and members of the public in communicating back and forth if we can, just for purposes of procedure, and while everything was positive tonight, if we can try to keep addressing one another by title instead of by name. Again, everything was positive tonight, but sometimes that won't be the case, and so we just want to keep things that way if we can. Anything else? All right, we are now down to executive session. I'd like to note that subsequent to executive session, council may take action on matters discussed in executive session. We'll go into executive session tonight for a contractual matter, reviewing Fairfield Memorial Hospital and proposal information, and a legal matter, an update on mega site land litigation. In executive session with us tonight, we'll have Susie Dosher, Clarence Gilbert, Jason Taylor, Davis Anderson, Ray Jones, John DuBose, and Scott Campbell. Do we have a motion to go into executive session for those purposes?
So moved.
All right. Second. Those in favor? Unanimous.